All right, welcome to part 4. I showed you the manual. For all those who don't want to have their doors to lock when you get into the car, you can use the manual to beat off the carjackers. Yep, it's a heck of a manual. It's pretty scary, and you know what? It's not the greatest of manuals. It's mediocre. It's got a lot of spelling errors in it, too, which I'm kind of shocked. I figured the Japanese would be much better at making manuals in that aspect. Maybe they didn't make it. Who knows? Oh, yes, I do have a moonroof. I like my moonroof, but it's a basic moonroof, so who cares? All right, now I want to give you an idea of how the reverse works in this car. You go into reverse, and there's your reverse screen. Very simple. You got 3 views. You got a wide angle view. As you can see here, it'll also show you the direction you're going to move. You got your fixed lines. And then you got your curving lines will show you your trajectory. Very accurate, by the way. You got a more personalized view. And this is a view that I love. Straight down view at your bumper. This is fantastic when you're backing and you want to fill into the space perfectly. That way, you got you're backing into the space. You got your nose all the way in. You're not going to get your nose smacked by people driving around. It's great. I love that. I love that they added that. I'm going to put this back here. This car also has parking sensors, which I'm going to turn back on. It's not going to show much right now, but what I think I'm going to do is, since I'm here in my driveway, we're going to reverse here, do a little bit of driving, give you an idea how the parking sensors work. Now, when you add the parking sensors, again, they don't come with a card. It's $1,000 or more to add, about $1,100. Charlie's Honda did a fantastic job. It took them a whole day to do it. This is a big deal. They have to drill into the bumpers. They have to put the sensors in. They have to wire everything. They did a great job on it. People have talked about problems with it. We'll see. I'm going to show you how they work. We're going to go into drive. I'm going to drive forward. And it's going to do nothing. I wonder why it's doing that. See? You learn new things every day. I'm going to back up. There we go. Starts beeping. It'll also show it here. Now you can change the way it looks on the screen by pressing this button. And they'll show both, give you an idea where your sensors are. Nice little beep. We'll drive forward and we're going to see if we're going to get any response from the front. I was shocked that it didn't give me any kind of response from the front. There we go. Warning, approaching object. I think mainly because it doesn't have it straight in the center. That might be part of the problem. I think these are worth it. I think they're worth it. I paid the money for them. They work. They do what they're supposed to do. Let me park the car now so we don't get ourselves killed. That gives you an idea how your reverse camera works. Now, let's get into a few other minor things. What I'm going to do is I have to turn down the volume. I'm going to turn on my radio. Audio is off. Title unknown. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to go to my... Woo! Got to turn that off. Pause it. That was tub thumping, and I can't play that because I don't want to get in trouble. All right, this is what it looks like. This is what your screen looks like for your music. I like the screen. Nice thing about it is that you can, you can scan back and forth. You can see it doesn't tell you the number, how far it is into it as you move it. Once you let go, then it tells you how far you're in. It's also in white. Which is pretty stupid. White tends to blend in. What they should do is they should take this number and they should put it to the side. You also have an automatic choice to go to your sound, so you can change your sound settings, which I do a lot. Your track forward and back. You can skip different folders. You can set it to do random, which is what I have it set to do now. I want to have a little discussion real quick about the 10-speaker sound system. Well, let me turn it up real quick. No, it's not playing. That's about as far as I'm going to play before I get in trouble. All right. It can, even without my subwoofer added on, the sound system can have moments of greatness. It really can sound pretty good. And for most average people, they're going to like it, especially if they don't have hearing problems. I don't hear that well. A lot of it has to do with brain issues. There's a little bit of hearing loss in the ears themselves, but it's mostly in the brain. And I like loud volume. That's why I hooked a subwoofer into it. We had to finagle to do it. Got it done at Best Buy by some friends over there. If you ever need anything done, Portland, Maine, Best Buy, their car techs are very nice guys, and they'll be glad to help you out. The first time I played music at any high volume, now the maximum volume is 40 on this, I noticed the highs were so high, they were nearly impossible to deal with. They screeched mostly out of the center speaker. Almost all the voices come out of the center speaker. They almost never spread into the sides, and almost none of the extra music goes into the rear. I mean, there's some back bass and so forth, but it's mostly bass. And I was very unhappy with that. Another problem is the car rattled. The back deck, way back there, that back deck rattled. Big time rattling, guys. And the doors rattled, and the speakers rattled. And that was unacceptable. It even did it at 30, which is, yeah, it's loud, but it still shouldn't do that. You know, you get a premium system, it should not be rattling. So, kudos to Charlie's of Augusta. No attitude. No, oh, you need to turn your volume down. You know what they did? They went in there and they quieted down the rattling. That's what they did. They didn't give an attitude. They didn't make a face. No trouble whatsoever. And I take my hat off to them for that, because a lot of dealers would do that. And it might be a good reason why Charlie's, a lot of people I talk to likes Charlie. So I highly recommend them. They're not paying me for this, but I highly recommend them. They just happen to be far away from me, but they were worth it the whole time. They fixed a lot of the problems, but the sound still rattles at certain, especially these little tweeters here. They rattle and buzz at certain volumes. Well, actually at certain tones. I can play AM radio at the 20 volume. Oh, by the way, just to give you an idea, see that down there? See how it says EV? It means the car is a pure electric vehicle. You'll get that little symbol back and forth as the car goes into electric vehicle mode or not. It means we're running all electricity. And the nice thing is when you're running an all electricity, the car will make a nice little, like, organ noise. You won't hear it inside the car, but if you, like maybe a drive-through at McDonald's or something, and yes, I'm a fat mammal. I eat McDonald's a lot. If you roll your window down and drive slowly while it's in EV mode, you'll hear it, and it's actually kind of nice. I kind of like the noise. Going back to the stereo, even playing AM radio at volume 20, I get buzzes out of these little tweeters. These tweeters piss me off. Fortunately, there's no information much on this stereo system. There are devices from companies like Audio Control that make it possible for you to hook up your own amps, which I'm going to do eventually. And I'm going to change the speakers in this car eventually when I want to get it ripped apart. I'm just a little nervous. I don't want the car damaged. Last time we did some work, I told you about these soft plastics. They tend to scratch easily. We got a couple of scratches, and, you know, they're going to get, they're covered, not by Honda, but by the people who did it by accident. They were nice enough to let me know. They didn't lie. They could have lied. Either way. And while the parts weren't expensive, it cost a fortune to install them. And they're gonna have a bird when they see how much it costs to install it, because I couldn't do it. So I am going to definitely update this sound system. There is a lot to do with this sound system. I'm probably going to put additional amplifiers. It might hurt my gas mileage a little, but so be it. I can deal with it. And that is pretty much all I have to say about the stereo system. It's not impressive, and I'm going to leave it at that. And no, yeah, well, that was funny. I used my middle finger to turn it off, and that was not intentional. It just happened. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to be rude. Any final thoughts to say about this car? Well, car is generally pretty quiet if you drive it nicely. If you like to put your foot down on the gas hard, it tends to roar. Most of the power of this car is not from the engine. Most of the power is from the batteries. and the electric motor. The engine will engage to the wheels when you really floor it. And at certain times it will do it. But mostly, it's the electric motor that runs the car with the batteries, and the engine charges the batteries. Now, the batteries, they say if you use EV mode here, you can get up to 1 mile. I doubt it, seriously. That's assuming that left gauge right there that says L and F is all the way up to the top. Good way to get that all the way to the top is to put it in sport mode and drive around on that, and that keeps the engine on more and makes the car a lot faster and peppier. It also charges up the battery fast. However, as you're going up hills, large hills, or if you're hitting the gas a little harder, the engine will roar a bit as it's charging the batteries, trying to keep the batteries charged so it can send it to the electric motor and run the car and give you the best gas mileage possible. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't do anything weird there. I hit a button. No, nothing happened. The problem with that is that the roar can be a little bit weird because it's a monotonous roar. It's not a revving up roar, it's a monotonous roar. And it was typical of my Prius. My Prius did the same thing. It was very annoying. I'm used to it. I've driven a lot of hybrid vehicles. I love the feel of the car. It doesn't bother me, but it's something that you need to drive the car a bit when you do a test drive on this car to know whether you can deal with it. I can deal with it, no problem. Don't bother me. I just put the thing in cruise control, turn my volume up, play my music, and enjoy myself while the car steers itself. Oh, that is so awesome. One other thing. The car steers very nicely. It handles nicely. It feels nice. I feel like I'm in a sports car. I'm not really in a sports car. It's not fast. It has a little zip. It has that typical torquey zip at the beginning. But that's pretty much all there is to it. The steering wheel, comfortable. The controls, very easy to use. Very comfortable to use. The color scheme, I think, is beautiful. The design is absolutely gorgeous. And I cannot recommend that rear spoiler too much. It's awesome. It looks great. And I love the color that this car comes in. We're going to do one more final run around on the outside. We're going to show what happens when you get out of the car and leave it on. We're going to step out of this car. Close it. See, it beeps. It screams at you. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I wanted to give you a quick view. The car, driving lamps, set, and so forth. And of course, there's my driver's. There's my main license. I guess if you guys want to come and kill me because you hate my review. I'm actually a reasonably nice guy, but I do have an attitude problem on occasion. But I love this car. Got the extended warranty. Didn't get the greatest deal from Charlie's, but I thought I got a reasonable deal at the time, and I don't begrudge Charlie's making a profit. If they don't make a profit, then Charlie's ain't going to be there to fix my car now, are they? And that's pretty much all I've got to say, which was an awful lot. Oh my God, this thing took a long time. And this was totally unscripted. I'm sure you guys were able to tell. Looks like I hope this thing doesn't come out too blurry. Now, if I'm able to get this video put together, that'll be great. All right. Guys, this is all coming from me. This is my personal drive feelings of how I felt driving this car. Oh, yeah, I forgot there are paddles. There's little paddles on there that engages the regenerative braking. So when you're going down hills, the car may speed up even under cruise control. You can hit it, and it engages regenerative braking, and then it charges up the battery a little. I use them on occasion. I don't think they're all that important, so we're going to leave that off. And, that is pretty much all there is to say. I love this car. I think it's awesome, and I highly recommend it. It's my first car that I've actually purchased. I also have a Ford Fusion Energy. I'm leasing that. I have my opinions of that car, too. Not as high as this. Not nearly as high as this. It's not a bad car. It's just not the same, and I don't like it as much. This car, I give a solid, for myself personally, I give it a 9.5. It's almost perfect for me. I love this car. For the average person, I think a fair rating on this car, for, say, a hybrid user, I think the rating would be a 7.5 to an 8. It's a great car. It's beautiful. It's different looking. Well, it's not different. It's more traditional looking without looking weird like the Prius. Although the 2019 Prius is looking good. I saw the new all-wheel drive Prius. They finally fixed that ugly lit face. But unlike the Prius, when you get inside this car, you don't feel like you're getting into a Starfleet shuttlecraft. You feel like you're getting into a car. So I'm going to leave it at that. I've talked enough. I'm probably bored the heck out of you people. And if you guys have any comments, leave it below. I don't usually use my computer much, but I'll check them best I can. Again, if you want to reach me, you can reach me at Verdier, Verdier, 400 at gmail.com. I will try to check the Gmail. I never usually do. Answer any questions you have. I'm sure a lot of people probably say bad things about me too. It's okay. That's the internet. That's why I never normally wanted to deal with it. But I really love this car, and I want people to know about it and how good it is. So you guys take care, and I hope you guys found this helpful. Any other questions? Feel free. Bye-bye.